Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 10K Project. We are the largest community of investors who actively fund Black-owned businesses. So you're saying, Cherie, well, then why in the world do you have Dr. Pamela Ellis here to talk about helping our kids get scholarship money? Well, in order to build generational wealth, one of the biggest hindrances that we have as a people is student loan debt. Shout out to me, I'm still paying Uncle Sam. Yes, right? However, if we don't have to burden our kids with that, imagine how much farther along they could be. They could get out of college, get their first job, get homes faster, get into other types of investments faster, et cetera. So I found this wonderful woman, scholar on LinkedIn over a year ago, and I've invited her to come back to talk to the 10K Project community about helping your kids get scholarships, full ride, all 4 years plus to college. So hello, Dr. Pamela Ellis.
Hello there, Cherie. I am just so excited to be back again. I thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you know you're one of our favorite guests. So,
Oh my goodness, yes. I do know that.
especially with this topic, because there aren't a lot of people who educate our community with regards to getting scholarships. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. How did you even get involved in this as a career and as a business for the community?
Yeah, absolutely, Cherie. I'm going to give you the short story so we can get into talking about the good stuff on scholarships. But I am probably one of the most unlikely people to be talking about this because not only am I a first generation college graduate, I'm also a first generation high school graduate. So my mom finished 8th grade and my dad finished 10th. And I grew up in the projects of Memphis, Tennessee. And so when it came time to apply to college, I mean, it was really just whoever wrote me a letter and all of that. It was just a mess. I didn't know what I was doing. And my mother really wanted me to stay home. And because, she didn't know about, the colleges that I had, had been admitted to. They were, all new to her. And she was like, baby, you can just stay at home. You don't need to go out. You don't need to go nowhere. And that was it. And so when we got on that Greyhound bus to go out to California, I mean, people were like, where are you going to school again? And I was there and she was like, you know something? I got $70 for you. And that's what she gave me for the whole school year. And I was just like, man. And so I was one of those persons who got loans. And I ended up graduating from Stanford with $10,000 in loans. But that was, some years ago. Now it's a lot more than that. Yeah.
Definitely a lot more.
Yeah. But I didn't have an appreciation for all of what I had gone through and everything else until I became a mom, because then I just became obsessed with how do I help my kids? And just like you talked about that next generation, how do I support them with navigating through K-12 and also, being positioned so that they're not saddled with a lot of debt, which we were hearing about, once I became a mom. And so that's what really drove me to go back to Stanford to get my doctorate degree. And my work is around high school to college transition. So what supports students with being successful as they navigate through high school and then go on to thrive in college. And, thriving in college is about, paying for it and paying for it in a way that makes sense. And so in short, what my firm does today is we partner with busy moms to help their team find a college that feels like home without overpaying.
Fantastic. So let's start off with some of the myths that you often hear, some of the things that people say to you or we come in with that is not correct. Yeah.
Yes, you probably heard about one of those big myths. One of the biggest myths is I need to wait till senior year. I'm gonna wait till senior year to find some scholarships. And that's probably the biggest myth, because I see so many parents who will reach out to me in senior year. And the first thing I ask is, what grade is your teen? And they're just like, 12. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's just kind of late.
I wish that I had known that when and my parents tried. My parents, really pushed me at that time.
Yeah.
And yet it never occurred to me, and you talk about this, that you should start in the 9th grade getting scholarships.
Oh, Cherie, it's a little bit earlier than that, because yes, they can start applying for scholarships as early as age 13. They don't have to wait till then. And a lot of 13-year-olds are in 7th and 8th grade. There are all kinds of scholarships that are out there for them that they can apply to. And I'll refer to those as external scholarships, because they can go to any college with that money. The granting organization just holds on to that money till they go to college, and it goes directly to the college on their behalf. And so that's the thing about it for those external scholarships. It starts as early as age 13.
Age 13. So everybody, age 13, start getting them into, and Dr. Pamela Ellis actually has a program. We're going to talk about it later on, but you all need to have your pens and papers ready. But let's go back to the myths. What other myths do you think, or do you see parents having that also needs to be broken?
Whoa. The other big one is that my kid needs to be well-rounded.
Talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, I'm going to step on some toes when I talk about this one, because that one is probably the most intractable one, is my kid needs to be well-rounded. The thing about being well-rounded is it means you're doing a little bit of everything. And when you're doing a little bit of everything, the colleges don't know how you're going to contribute. And when they don't know how you're going to contribute, remember, a confused mind does nothing. You won't be admitted. Or if you are admitted, you won't get scholarship money, because they're going to give money to those kids that they know are going to be committed in terms of doing something, whether they're the piccolo player or they're going to be something. Because the thing about it is that colleges have money that aren't just related to academics and athletics. So we think of the scholarship money from colleges as being about books and bowling, but no. They have money for that kid who is from, the middle of Maryland, because they don't have very many kids from Maryland that are applying, and they want to recruit them by giving them that scholarship so that they will come to that college. And so the biggest dollars that you'll get will be directly from the colleges. The biggest dollars will come directly from the college. And I'm going to tell you some numbers around some of what I'm seeing every year with that.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. But before we go into that, though, before we get to the numbers, tell us what kind of majors, if you're a young person, because we usually think if you're doing some sort of STEM, but suppose they're a creative person, or suppose they want to study business. Are you finding? Go ahead.
Yeah, something, the money comes from the colleges, and it's not always necessarily tied to what your major is going to be. Okay. So I've seen kids get money who are painters. They just want to paint. I've seen kids get money who are in STEM. And I've also seen kids get money who are doing majors in the humanities. Like my own son, he got a lot of money and he was a philosophy major. My other son majored in international relations, but they still got money. And my daughter is majoring in Africana studies, but that doesn't hurt, their ability to get scholarships from their universities.
Now, can Black kids get money from HBCUs as well as PWIs?
Something, they can, but I'm going to be frank in saying that, sometimes what I usually see is that the kids who will get bigger dollars from an HBCU are in the STEM area, and sometimes there are males instead of our girls.
I have seen that as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I received an email from a friend of mine who Tennessee State University had so many female students that they said, if we're looking to recruit young Black males, and they were going to pay for all 8 years of that kid to go to undergraduate and graduate school to either be a dentist or a doctor. And you know who responded to my email? Parents of girls asking me, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if maybe the parents of the boys just went directly to the school, but the people who responded to me were parents of girls. So, you know, yeah,
well, I mean, that's what we're seeing, Cherie, because in the last couple of years, the enrollment has gone down with everything that's happened in our society. But the biggest drop has been with the males, you know, so 7 times lower than our girls. And so with that, you know, being the case that the majority of students on the campuses are girls, then, you know, sometimes I'm certainly seeing it, they're not getting as much scholarship dollars as the guys are. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah. So then let's talk money, money, money. How much money are you seeing, you know, parents who put in the effort and the students who put in the effort, how much are you seeing them actually getting in scholarship money?
Yes. So my average in terms of scholarships, so 95% of my clients are admitted to their top choice colleges, and the average scholarship is $75,000. Now, each year I'm getting students that are, you know, getting scholarships that's well over $1 million. And one of my students last year, his total, and this was my highest over the years, is it was over 1.8 million. And the thing about that is that, yes, indeed, he did get a couple of, you know, colleges that were, you know, that offered him a full ride where he would have gotten some money back, a stipend, you know. My own son, my oldest, got a full ride and a stipend at a college. And this young man, with all of these opportunities and scholarships that he received, attended an HBCU. Fantastic. And I can tell you that the HBCU did not offer a full ride. And so his parents are paying a portion of, you know, his college education. I want to say it's around maybe 30 to 40%. And I've seen that, you know, with, you know, my other students as well. And, you know, those who have the big dollars, many of them, you know, will have somewhere like around, you know, 300-500K, you know, in total scholarship dollars. And they go to the college that's the best fit for them all around. And when I talk about fit, it's academic, social, financial, vocational, and cultural. And that cultural piece is huge in these last couple of years.
Yes, it is. It is. I was listening last night to a gentleman named Camari Ellis. He's a financial person, and he had on a professor from Cheney University that teaches math. And he was talking about the fact that he used to teach at a PWI, but now he's moved over to an HBCU, and he's able to impart knowledge and information in a way that he wasn't able to at the PWI. So the fact that you mentioned that, you know, just because you get the most money from an institution, that doesn't mean it's going to be the best cultural fit. At the end of the day, you know, you're going to college in order to get life skills as well as get employment, right? And I've also heard And you can let me know. I have no way of verifying this. I've also heard that when big companies are looking for STEM majors that are Black, they go
Mhm.
to the HBCUs over
Yep.
going to the PWIs looking for these professionals. So, that's something else that you want to weigh as well. You're shaking your head.
Oh
Um,
yeah, because I agree and I do see that. And the students, the Black students that I see at some great institutions, your brand names, uh, those companies are not coming to their colleges looking for them.
mhm,
But they're going to the HBCUs. And I know for my students at HBCUs, they have some very rich opportunities. One of the young men at Morehouse, just seeing the kinds of, summer experiences that he's had. I
mhm,
mean, they, far outpaced, being at, a PWI that had a formal co-op program,
mhm.
but he chose that HBCU and it has paid off
Yeah,
dividends for him. And you can't beat just the community itself in terms of the kind of support and nurturing that our students get when they go to an HBCU. And I have been on the faculty of an HBCU, and just the way we nurtured our students, you can't get that at a PWI. And I know because I've attended PWIs, and I
right,
know I was
right,
not nurtured like that. But
right.
yeah.
Well, I won't claim to know how much a professor at a PWI makes versus an
Mhm.
HBCU, but I would imagine that the HBCU professors probably make a little bit less, and they come in with a whole lot more love. Like you're doing it for the love of the students.
Yes,
So
yes,
yes.
absolutely,
So
absolutely. And that goes so
okay.
far.
Let's
Yes.
talk about trade schools because not every young person wants to go
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
a traditional college.
Yes, that's right.
Does this work for trade schools as well?
It's a little different. And what I usually recommend when students are interested in a trade school is to get that experience as much as they can in their junior, senior year of high school, because
Hmm.
there are some amazing career tech high schools around the country.
Hmm.
And that gives them that additional advantage so that when they do get that continuing education, additional education that they may need post high school, it will be less expensive for them. And so sometimes, if they are going directly into a trade school, there's
Hmm.
going to be some costs associated with that. And so perhaps what they can do, if they've already done 2 years at a career tech center, for example, then what they can do is perhaps work in a company so that the company can pay for that additional training. And
Yeah,
so that's what I think could be a win-win
right.
because
Or get some of those external scholarships that you've been talking about.
yeah, and sometimes those can be pretty limited though.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
when it's for a trade school as
Hmm.
opposed to a 4 year,
Hmm.
they may have some particular parameters around them. And
Hmm.
so this is a way that they can, still be able to do something and get some, support if
Right.
those are not available to them.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So you have an upcoming introductory session for people to
Oh,
delve deeper
yes,
into
I
this.
do.
Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about that?
I do. It's called College Prep Made Easy. And it's a 1 day or half day, I should say half day, because I don't want anybody thinking it's 8 hours, but a half day event to really, share with parents everything they need to know to help their teen with getting in and getting money for college.
Mhm.
And it's, also too, to take away some of that stress and overwhelm that comes with the whole college process and the kind of tension that can be at home when they're trying to tell their kid what to do and their kid is like,
No.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
So just to get past some of that, and my whole, goal is that they leave there being able to help their team with grace and ease.
So tell everybody how to register for it, how to find it.
Oh, yes. Go to collegeprepmadeeasy.com. Simple as that.
collegeprepmadeeasy.com.
Yes.
And then you also have a
College
boot camp coming up as well. Tell everyone a little bit more about that.
Yes, the boot camp that's coming up in the summer. Oh, we have 2 dates for that. And when it's in the summer, we do an afternoon session and we have an evening session as well in August. But what it is it's for those students who are rising seniors, to really help them with, making sure that their common application portfolio is intact and that they get that essay written, because a lot of students have writing anxiety, or they feel like, oh, I don't know what to say about myself. And this boot camp is what can help them with really getting those applications done even before they start the school year. And
Great.
so that's what that's about. And I don't think I have a clever domain name for that.
Okay. Well, then how do people just find out about that and register for that?
Yes, go to compasscollegeadvisory.com.
Okay,
That's
say it one
my
more time.
website, compasscollegeadvisory.com. So it's CompassCollegeadvisory.com. I know it's long.
And it's okay. We are actually going to put the link to it
Yes.
as well. If you're on our social channels, it'll be, in the description. And if you're on our email,
Yes.
just check the email.
Yes.
Okay. So, and all of these events are virtual, right? Anybody in the United States?
Anywhere in the US, they can come,
Okay.
and they can find me on each of the social channels at the Education Doctor. And so they can always find me there. They can slide into my DMs. That's fine too, but I want to see them and partner with them on this journey.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, I cannot recommend Dr. Pamela enough, at least just to go and hear what she's talking about and position your young people, so that they have more opportunities coming to them than they could possibly imagine. Because
Exactly.
that's how we get the best out of our young people. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you
Dr.
so
Pamela.
much, Cherie. Thank you.
All right, everybody, and we will see you on the next video.